What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Another week, another chance to get a dub. Got us a different type of opponent today. The Indianapolis Colts, right? Different type of team. We're going to dissect it. You know, we done seen all type of teams, right? But this team, if I had to compare it, even though they're not the same, similarities to Washington as far as what the defense and the offense provides, right? Similarities, right? They have, of course, they have contrast in certain areas that we will get into. But if I had to give you a team to similarly compare it to for what we've seen so far, I have to say the Washington Commanders, if I'm being real. So it ain't like we ain't been battle tested, we ain't seen nothing. But they do provide different challenges, though, than the Washington Commanders. If I had to tell you, if I had to just be real with you off of memory, this is probably would be the most complete defense that we have went across. The Tampa defense, of course, was pretty good, especially when they was at their healthiest. The Tampa defense was pretty good. Washington defense is good, but you know their secondary was trash. That's why they had to make that move for Will Jackson, who I believe is hurt. But top to bottom, right? Even though they're missing Leonard, this is pretty good defense that we're going against. And the reason why that their record is the way that it is right now is not because of the defense. It's because of that underachieving offense. Right? So let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. Right? For those of y'all who are new, welcome to the channel. Right? Not only is this a Cowboy channel, but this is a sports channel in general. So we will get into a whole bunch of things and have a whole bunch of fun on this channel, right? Because right now, what you're seeing is just surface level. I got so much things that I want to present to y'all. But you know, this is just business though with this Cowboys, right? Doing Cowboys content is a must. And is a must that I do every single week, right? But I love sports. So we get into that as well. But anywho, let's go ahead and get straight to business, right? Let's get into let's unpack this offense. Let's unpack this offense. United States, I'm excellent. Oh, I don't even watch that. But anywho, so the Colts, let's get with that offensive line. The two best linemen on the Colts is the center Kelly and Quentin Nelson. A lot of people said that Quentin Nelson was better than Zach Martin, and that has not been truthful. But he is recognized as one of the best guards of top two, top three. Most def. Can't take that away from Quentin Nelson. That offensive line has not been playing well as of late, and pretty much from this whole season, they haven't been clicking well. They're in some developing stages. They are developing a young left tackle. They got Kelly, who's been kind of banged up throughout the career. Quentin Nelson, who has been consistent, but there has been struggle in his play a little bit, right? Probably due to some of the cast and some of the positions that the Colts have been in offensively. Right? They got what's his name? Let me get that man's name. Braden Smith. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has flexibility at guard and tackle, but I believe he's the right tackle. Let me confirm that. Let me confirm that real quick. Let me confirm that. Let me give you actual factuals. Yes, Braden Smith. Will Fries at right guard, Ryan Kelly at center, Quentin at left, and left tackle Raymond. Now, Raymond, the Dallas Cowboys, I believe, looked at, but I told y'all, if y'all follow me in the draft process, that I didn't want him, right? But I also recognized the potential that was there. And going against Raymond, there will be opportunities. There will be opportunities for a nice speed rush to be in the corner. We want your bendy players right there. So on 3rd and long, I'm definitely will put Lawrence or Parsons on Raymond, right? Braden Smith, can't none of them guard. Can't none of them guard or tackles in there. See, the cool thing about it is, right? Our edge rushers, just not, to be honest with you, other than we have an advantage regardless of how good your line is. See, the cool thing about it is this D line, even though this D line is elite, it still doesn't get enough credit because you can look at other matchups of other teams against certain elite offensive lines, but that doesn't go for us because of the pass rush ability that we have on this D line. We collected a lot of good edge rushers, and a lot of them good edge rushers eat. A lot of these good offensive linemen that we go against, it doesn't matter because they can't, because that just means our guys are that much better. So, yes, there's opportunities for some dip, to be able to dip and go ahead and speed rush on Raymond. You can bull rush him. You can bull rush him. He's not fully developed physically and technical wise, but he hasn't done a bad job though. He's done a decent job, but there's opportunities on that left tackle for sure, right? The center is he's a good center. He's a good center. Ryan Kelly is good. I believe that's Bama. He's good. He's very good. And I believe he got a little bit banged up against that Steeler game, but he came right back in. Of course, you got your thing. See, that's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle inside, though, right? Going against Quentin Nelson, whether it be Osa or in your NASCAR package, it's going to be a battle, right? You going against a bad boy at that left guard that you can find in your NASCAR package. You could be able to take advantage of Fries because Fries is kind of like McGovern in a kind of way, right? Kind of hiding them in. See, one thing's for sure, the running room hasn't been in a surplus this year for the Colts, right? The Colts is a heavy run team, but it ain't the same. The line ain't the same. That offense ain't the same. You see, they pack everything in because they don't respect the perimeter wide receivers as far as them being able to go up top. But we'll get into that. Right? The interior definitely got to do work as far as in the run game. I'm definitely see Ryan Kelly versus Hankins Bohannon. It's gonna be a good matchup. Osa Gallimore versus Quentin Nelson. Good matchup. Good matchup. But we can win them matchups, right? One thing's for sure that I've been seeing is a little bit of trouble. If the games that I watched, they had a little bit of trouble of getting to the second level. They don't really get to the second level as efficiently as they had done in the past. And if we can keep these boys fresh, and when I mean by fresh, I mean keep them off of your linebackers such as Leighton, Damon Clark. We got something good going on. So if I had to tell you who I want to pick on, picking on them tackles, picking on Fries. Picking on Fries. Now, offensively at the perimeter, they got Paris Campbell, Pierce, Pittman. Pittman is about 6'4". Pierce is 6'1", 6'2", maybe, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And Paris Campbell. Right? Let's talk about the wide receivers. Separation is what they don't get. They don't get a lot of separation. Pittman is a big body wide receiver who can adjust to that ball, right? You can throw it up to him. The intermediate routes as Pittman, right? But he's not gonna really run from nobody, and that's been hurting the Colts this year. Pierce, he finds ways to get open. I like him. He's solid. He's done a pretty solid job for the Colts this year. Had a little trouble because he was clicking with Ryan early, and then the quarterback changed, and then now they're trying to get back on track. Paris Campbell has been, okay. I've seen him make some plays here and there. He's not no bum, but they have no wide receivers that I fear. Right? You see, Anthony Brown has been getting toasted deep. We shouldn't have that problem this week. Pittman shouldn't run from him. Pierce shouldn't run from him. Paris Campbell shouldn't run from him. If I'm just being real. And a lot of that got to do with taking, because it ain't like Anthony Brown is slow. I believe Anthony Brown is a 4.3 corner. So speed has not been the problem from Ant. Technique, eyes. That's been the problem for Ant. So the good thing about it is if Ant was to get beat, he has the makeup speed to be able to recover against these wide receivers. Now, tight end wise, Jelani Woods had a nice game against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday night, right? He had a nice game. He's a good side. I believe the Dallas Cowboys also had a little bit of interest in him, if I'm not mistaken. Jelani Woods, it seemed like he was their comfort zone on Monday night. Jelani Woods was a good sized target for Matt Ryan. So that'll be something to keep your eye out on. And also, if you're missing a tight end from here on out, as long as Matt Ryan is at quarterback, and especially with the offense that they had, you might want to throw in Jelani Woods in your lineup. Probably have to do a video on that. It's about that time. You might want to go ahead and throw Jelani Woods in there. I mean, what else you going to miss? As long as he getting the snaps, Jelani Woods should be that guy. Now, Jonathan Taylor is a good running back, one of the best. Top running back in the league. He can hit you. He's a home run threat. He has some power behind his game. He can catch the rock out the backfield. He is a weapon. And if that running game going, and if you mess around and you give up the fat creases that you have in the past, he's the type of dude that will take it to the crib. Sort of like Cook, If you go ahead and give Cook that crease, he'll do to you like what he did to the Buffalo Bills. So you got to watch out. Cook is a very good running back. And also, the game plan is going to be, let's run the ball on Dallas. You don't want to get in third, second, and long. against Dallas. So they're gonna try. They're gonna do their best to establish the run come Sunday night. Oh, you could bet that they're gonna do their best to establish the run. And if you allow Jonathan Taylor to get going, they're gonna hit now. I told you how their wide receivers don't get separation. Now their wide receivers is gonna go ahead and move the chains on you. They're gonna hit that play action on you. But the good thing about going against this Colts team is going against Matt Ryan. People said that Matt Ryan hasn't been playing well. You could say that there's been some things going on with Matt Ryan, and then you could also go to the offense and what's around him. To be honest with you, you see, Matt Ryan is damn near 40 years old, and they expected this man to be a magician. No, you needed to surround him with weapons. The way that this Colts team is playing offensively, maybe you're going to have to cut Carson Wentz some slack. Because if Matt Ryan can't do a little something with this team, then how could you expect Carson Wentz to? So they might want to go back to the drawing board and go look at get some true explosiveness in the off season on the outside and the perimeter. Matt Ryan, I'm looking at Matt Ryan, right? I'm looking at him. I'm like, Matt Ryan is not. I'm looking at him on Monday, and I'm like, he's not playing bad. His wide receivers just not getting no separation. And one thing that I've seen that Pittsburgh was doing, it was heating them up. They was getting them to move outside of that pocket. And we all know that mobility is not a strong suit for Matt Ryan. They was bringing DBs on the edge. They was bringing heat up the middle. So one thing that I see what I would like for the Dallas Cowboys to do is to go ahead and bring Micah Parsons up the middle and heat him up. You see, when we get Matt Ryan outside of that pocket, bad things will happen for the Indianapolis Colts. When we get him on the move, bad things will happen for the Indianapolis Colts. So the key this game is to not only get them in second and long and third and long, but to get Matt Ryan happy feet like he's R. Kelly. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. I would bring the heat a little bit this game, even though you don't have to. There's just nothing that offensively on the perimeter, as far as speed-wise, that you will respect. It ain't like the receivers is bum. It's just that they just don't get much separation. It's kind of like the combo was not a good combo. You see, one thing about the Dallas Cowboys is, right, you got some type of speed on the offense, right? And since they have the Colts, I'm talking about the Colts now, since the Colts have not been running to their full potential as of late, that even makes the wide receiver's job a little bit harder. And the cool thing about it is, right, they sell out for the run because they know that the number one option is to stop Jonathan Taylor. So a lot of the times, whether it be zone or man on man, you would expect them outside receivers to win, but since they can't run from nobody, it's a little bit tough on Matt Ryan. You see, Matt Ryan had Julio Jones. Matt Ryan had Kyle Pitts, Ridley, right? I believe that the backstages of Roddy White, Gonzalez. See, Matt Ryan had people who could separate and get open. You see, the thing that you with Pittman is, even though Pittman is kind of similar to, Brandon Marshall to a certain degree, right? Just throw it up and let him adjust to the ball, and he can go ahead and make contested catches. But even though Brandon Marshall did he got more separation than Pittman would, of course that. But he's just a big body though, right? So you just got to be worried about that big body stuff. And one thing that Trayvon Diggs, the first game, was give up a big body touchdown to Mike Evans. So if you get on the goal line, I'm pretty sure that they will probably test that to see if Trayvon Diggs can handle that big body in the red zone. But anything 20 to 20, you have to know that Diggs got you. Diggs got you in the red zone as well. But red zone, as far as size-wise, that provides a concern. That provides a concern. But in all reality, their offense is trash. The Indianapolis Colts offense is trash. Let's just be real. It's trash. Everybody as a unit, including the offensive coordinator, it's been trash. If they can't run the football, they can't do anything. Let's just be real. So if the Dallas Cowboys find themselves in a type of shootout with these boys, a little concerned. You stop Jonathan Taylor and you heat Matt Ryan up. It should be easy pickings as far as defense versus offensive wise. But now, since we got done with the offense, let's get into the Indianapolis defense. Now, this is going to be the show of the day. The Dallas Cowboys offense versus the Indianapolis Colts defense. Let's get into it. Now, let's just say this first. I believe his name. Let me make sure. I think it's Speed. Let me get his name right. EJ Speed. If you got EJ Speed in there, you go ahead and put Tony Pollard, who had the true speed, on that man. That's cookies. Cookies. Now, let's start with that D-line first. I got a good D-line, y'all. Good D-line. Just like the Dallas Cowboys, that's actually probably the best thing about the Colts is that D-line. You got Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner. You got Grover Stewart and Ngakoue. Them are some good boys right there. Matchups to watch. DeForest Buckner on Connor McGovern, because I'm very sure that DeForest Buckner, the majority of his snaps will be on Connor McGovern. That provides some that provides some concern. That definitely provides some concern. Because if y'all got him isolated on Connor McGovern, which we hope that doesn't happen, might be in a little bit of trouble. Let me take this out. Yeah, here trying to have a freak Nick on here or something, man, up on here, man. It's a family channel. Trying to have a freak Nick on here, my boy. What's wrong with them? Trying to spam up my chat. What's wrong with these people, man? But anywho, so DeForest Buckner, not only is he long-armed, he's about 6'6", 6'7", tall dude. So you got to worry about him blocking, you know what I'm saying, blocking the passes. Him being in the passing lanes with Dak, got to worry about that long arm because he has shown, especially coming from the San Francisco days, he has shown the ability to do that. Got to worry about DeForest Buckner. Kwity Paye is a pretty solid dude, but I like my chances with my tackles versus Kwity Paye. And Ngakoue, he's cool. He's a good rusher. You know, he had a solid game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. However, I have to say that their ROI on Ngakoue hasn't really been too high. You know, This team, they play with some power up front. They're gonna try to make the run game a little bit tougher than what it has been. But I believe that we can run on this. See, if they can run the football with Benny Snell, McFarland, then what makes you think that with this offensive line, we can't run the ball with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard? Will it be a little bit tougher than it had the past couple weeks? Sure. Do you not want to get in second and third and long against this team? You don't. You don't want to get in that consistently. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to have penalties in the red zone. You don't want to have self-inflicting penalties that should not happen in general. That should be fixed. However, if you're able to establish the run, we could be able to protect Dak some more. Because one thing for sure of what I don't want is Dak throwing 40 times against this D-line. I don't want that. Because this D-line, you could bet your tail that the Colts is going to get up to play the Dallas Cowboys this week, just like everybody else does. In a motivated Colts D-line with this Cowboys team, and you don't want to be in a situation where they tee off. I'm pretty sure Ngakoue is going to be on Tyler Smith. I'm pretty sure he's going to want a lot more of that. They're going to want Ngakoue on Tyler Smith, right? That's going to be the best matchups of the day, other than Gilmore versus CD and Kenny Moore versus Gallup. But other than that, them is going to be the matchups that you definitely got to watch. Their D-line versus our O-line. Good matchups. It's going to be a battle, but a battle that we have been tested. We've been battle tested, and it ain't a battle that we cannot win, because this is a battle that we can win. It's going to be a good game, right? Got to play a little part. You might going to have to play a little bit of chess early on, but that don't mean that you can't say checkmate at the end, right? Oh, this is going to be a nice challenge for CeeDee Lamb against Gilmore, because Gilmore is respected as one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and he has proven such. And I believe that this Colts pass defense is the best. I believe they're still number one ranked, if I'm not mistaken. Rightfully so, due to the good cornerbacks that they have with Kenny Moore and Gilmore and that good D-line. The safeties ain't no bums either, right? They're pretty good team. Zion Franklin, he ain't no bum. He not no bum. He's been filling in. He's been filling in kind of decent. He's been filling in kind of decent for what you call it, man. Damn, what's his name, man? Leonard. But yeah, that Gilmore and CD, get your popcorn ready, as T.O. would say, because that's gonna be a good matchup. Get your popcorn ready. You want Zeke getting the tough yards on this game. This is gonna be at original, right? I said that I wrote down that this might be a Tony Pollard game, but I continue to study, and I went back to the Philly game, and then I went and watched the Steelers game last night because I was up late last night, right? I changed my mind and said this is going to be an Ezekiel Elliott game. Zeke might have to get some 20 carries on this game. I want TP more utilized in the passing attack. See, one thing for sure, regarding going against this coach, you're going to need a third guy to step up, whether that be Schultz or TP in the passing game. You need a third guy. And if you don't have a third guy, they're going to make this game tougher than what it should be. Side note, I seen the Pittsburgh Steelers block a field goal on Monday night. So therefore, I'm looking at you, Dorrance. Can I get one? There's going to be an opportunity. It's right where we do our damage at. This is a game, right? It's so funny, right? Because I hope we don't take this team lightly. But this is a good defense. We're not looking at the record. This is a good defense where we're gonna need Dak to create this game. Oh yeah, we're gonna need him to create this game. We probably will have to ask a little bit more of what we've been asking from Dak this game. Yes, we should still be run first and still majority run. But you're going to need your quarterback to create, because one thing I seen that Kenny Pickett did and Jalen Hurts did was run against this team. They are susceptible to mobile quarterbacks. There's going to be opportunities for Dak to run, whether it be called runs or improvised runs. But there's definitely going to be some room for Dak Prescott to do damage. Come on. So Dak is going to have to make that money this game. Oh, yeah. Most def. Dak is going to have to make that money this game. He sure is. He sure is. Yes, indeed. One thing I've seen about this defense is, at least a couple games, that they don't give a big play. So they're going to make us work it down the field. So we're going to have to be mistake-free. We're going to have to be methodical down the field. We're going to have to work it down. We're going to have completions of 7 yards, 5 yards, run the ball, 4-yard pass. That's going to have to be masterful for this. He'll have to take care of the ball this game, make good decisions this game, because they're going to make you work it down the field. Because one thing I seen against Kenny Pickett and I seen against Jalen Hurts, they had to work the ball downfield. Kenny Pickett was responsible on Monday night. Jalen Hurts is impatient. They should have beat the Philadelphia Eagles, but they loosened up and allowed Jalen Hurts to get to running. And that was their downfall. That was their downfall. However, you can't, even though that they got good corners, you cannot be scared to attack them downfield. You have to prove, hey, look, I know you got Gilmore. I know you got Kenny Moore. But so what? I still like our wide receivers better than your corners. So we're going to go ahead and challenge y'all. Pickens had a decent game. See, they're going to have to make some – we're going to have to make some contested catches. And we're just in luck. We have wide receivers that are good at making contested catches, such as CD and Gallup. Gallup showed you that on Thanksgiving. CD also showed you that. Since Dak been back, CD has been playing ball. People, CD he ain't even got his quarterback, y'all. And he ready to give up on the man now? But all of a sudden, Dak come back. CD is the 88 that we been know that. Sometimes you just got to see things for what it is, the circumstances that's in place, what's going on. Is it CD's fault, or is it somebody else's fault, or is it both parties' fault? CD has been robbed. Now, CD has robbed us of some catches early on, and CD has been robbed of some catches later on, such as the touchdown catch that should have been against the New York Giants. Come on. But even though I said that this is an Ezekiel Elliott game, you need a healthy dose from both of your running backs. You need a healthy dose. You need a healthy dose. So, but one of the things that the Colts do We have been battle tested too. We have been battle tested of having long, methodical drives, 7-minute drives, just working it down, being patient, taking care of the ball. You see, that's what we have built up when Dak was out. See, we just became a little bit more explosive since Dak was in. But now we showed the ability not only to be able to hold the ball, put points up, be explosive, still pound the ball, but now we have another dynamic which needs to be used, which is the mobility of Rain Dakota Prescott. So yes, I want to see read options such as Jalen. I want to see improvised run, and there were some design runs that Philly did that worked. Now, Dak Prescott may not be no Lamar Jackson when it comes down to running, but one thing's for sure, Dak Prescott can run that football. And we're going to need Dak Prescott to run boots. I want to see the read option, and I would like to see design runs because that seems to be a weakness with the Indianapolis Colts. There seems to be room there with the Indianapolis Colts. So we must take advantage of that, especially since we have the personnel to be able to attack them. We have shown that we can work it down the field, which they're going to make you do. That's exactly why they are the number one passing defense in all of football, because they're going to make you earn it. And if we have shown the ability to be able to earn it, and we're going to have to do just that. I don't expect to blow out this game. I expected this game to really be a good game. And the real matchup is the Cowboys offense versus the Indianapolis Colts defense. And if anybody's telling you this is going to be a blowout, you're mistaken. Now, if it is a blowout, I would love to be wrong. And that says a lot about this offense to blow these cats out. But we're going to need these turnovers from this defense, right? We're going to have to smack up Matt Ryan a little bit. We're going to have to smack him up. Because if you allow that man to stay in the pocket untouched and allow these wide receivers to keep moving around and finding spots, he will dissect you. Be ready for screens to Jonathan Taylor, especially with our aggressive nature in getting after the quarterback. So be ready for some running back screens. Be ready for Curse and Wilson to be tested against Jelani Woods, because I would expect that, because Jelani Woods, as stated earlier, he had a nice game. And also, I believe that was a coming out party for Jelani Woods. So be ready for that. Gonna be a good game. Gonna be an enjoyable game. Gonna be a chess game. It's a game that not only Dak Prescott gonna have to shine, but Kellen Moore is gonna have to shine, and Mike McCarthy's gonna have to make some good decisions. See, that's one thing I love about these Dallas Cowboys is that they are battle tested, and here we have went through adversity and been on both sides and have overcame it the next week or the next drive or the next play. It's going to be a good game. A side note, I seen James Washington is in the practice window. Now he can practice. About time, right? But he's 2-3 weeks away? I guess, man. Right? We got to see what he can do. He got to be able to do something. Got to do something. But yeah, y'all, that's my little breakdown of the Indianapolis Colts, and we'll continue to go more into this as the week go on. Get ready to work on some film. See if we put some of that out. And we're going to do it just like that. But all right, y'all. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe from me. And we up out of here.